Hello everybody, Scrap Rampage 11 here, and today we're back with another Cobi review. We're going to review the KV-2. To fully go over the history of the KV-2, we need to start with the KV-1. The KV-1 was the Soviets' main heavy tank during the Winter War and the early stages of World War II. It had lots of armor, so it could bounce enemy anti-tank shells while dishing out the same damage to all other enemy positions. The issue was when a KV-1 would come across a bunker or any other type of heavy fortification, it couldn't knock that out. So you can see where this is going. So what the Soviet engineers did is they got a KV-1, they took off the original turret, and they put a giant box with a 152mm howitzer. Now we're going to call the 152mm howitzer the dirt gun because of all the memes. Memes aside though, the KV-2 was a limited success during the Winter War, and the reason I say that is yes, it did its job, it destroyed Finnish fortifications, but the Soviet Union lost the war, so I count that as a limited success. For example, if you had the German Tiger tank, I would say that was a limited success because Germany lost the war. The KV-2 was alright in World War II. I mean, it knocked out unarmored positions such as anti-tank guns and half-tracks. But other than that, it was slow because it's a tank with a big box on the top. It posed an easy target because it's a tank with a big box on the top. And it was hard to camouflage because, yes, you guessed it, it's a tank with a big box on the top. KV-2 production was ceased when the Germans invaded the Soviet Union. Now you might guess that they cancelled it because it was slow, it was an easy target, or it was hard to camouflage. But in reality, they cancelled the project because the Germans took over the only factory that made them. If you haven't noticed already in the video, you will notice that the two KV chassis are a little different. The reason of that is because Cobi changed their design of the KV. So if we look here, this is the old one, this is the new one. As you can see in the front, the old one has this light which is mounted on this horizontal section instead of on the new version, it's on the vertical section. You can see the driver's port is a smaller piece, and you can also see that the machine gun is a lot shorter, more accurate. Also, you have this extra periscope, and the hatch is not printed. On the old one it's printed, and on the new one it isn't. Also, the transitions between the edges are a lot smoother on the new one instead of the old one. You might not be able to see this from this angle, but the new tank is lower by one plate than the older tank. So the older tank is higher than the newer tank by one plate. So they lowered it, which makes the tank look more proportional. In the rear, you can see that Cobi's changed their design of the back of the tank. They have they added a tail light, and they also changed the clips to make it look more accurate. On the top rear, you can see that they switched these two bubble things for these more accurate round plates. They also moved the engine compartment back, so we'll go over that. They moved the engine compartment back. I can't open the KV-1 one because it's really hard. Yeah. Anyways, you get the idea. They moved it back, and then they switched some of the design. They also added these nice grill pieces and these smaller exhaust ports for the engine. As you can see from the side, you can see that this tank is definitely lower than this tank, and the driving wheel on the old tank is higher than the driving wheel on the new tank because it's lower. If you see the road wheels on the old tank are smaller and more spaced apart, and the road wheels on the new tank are larger and closer together. Also, if you see, the return rollers are larger than the ones here, and they are further away from the road wheels. As you see on the old model, the track cover supports are just slopes, but on the new model, they're actual bars like the real thing. Now we can get to my most used phrase on this channel, the actual model. So if we see, the minifigure is a normal Soviet tank commander minifigure. Although this one has a brown uniform instead of a gray uniform, which is interesting. There's also print on the front, but no print on the back. And then they have the classic Soviet tanker's helmet. If we look at the tank, we already kind of talked about the front of the tank, but there's a lot more smoother curves on the front of the tank than before. Max bow get back and forth, it works really nice, I would say. This is a good playing tank for moving back and forth. Rear of the tank, same, we went through that. They have the, I don't know what you call them, I guess there's still the track covers. You have these crates on the side, they don't open, but that's fine. If we look at the back, we can open up the engine. And as you can see, the engine is brick built. See if I can get a correct light down here. If we look there, we can see that the engine is brick built instead of the usual Cobi engine, which is nice. If we move on to the turret turns 360 degrees, and the gun elevates up and down, like really down. Derp gun goes really up, really down. I wouldn't recommend elevating it like 90 degrees down because it looks really ugly, because it doesn't have like a cover so you can see the inside of the turret. A quick fact is that the gun is using the new barrel piece. So the derp gun has a new barrel piece which is the same type of barrel piece used on the Hummel, the Bumblebee. You have the Hummel, which is the thing. And actually when I was building the Hummel, I was like, wouldn't it be nice if Cobi came out with a new KV-2 with this barrel? And it turned out, yep, they did. Anyways, you can see that there's ladders on both sides of the turret. And there's also these stickers which come in the World of Tanks sticker sheet, which have a bunch of stickers, and there's for some reason also American and German stickers, so I guess if you wanted to have an American KV-2, which never existed, then you do you. At the back of the turret, there is a hatch. Move back, and there's a hatch, which you can see the empty void of awesomeness with some nice print. And also, there is a rear-facing machine gun. If we look at the top of the tank, there's some more cool ventilation and periscope prints. Sorry about that. There's lots of three-dimensional details which makes the top of the turret look really nice. There's these two gunnery and commander periscopes, and then there's an opening hatch where you can put your guy in, your tank commander inside. That's pretty much it for the model, and yeah. To be honest, I would recommend this tank for both play and display. That's my new coined term. So you can play with it because it has lots of play features like opening hatches, rotating turrets, elevating gun. It goes back and forth, it's very smooth. It's very smooth, and you can also display the tank because it looks very proportional instead of the other tanks, so it's more proportional to the turret and the chassis and all the wheels, so that's nice. Also, since this tank is from the World of Tanks line, again, we have the sticker sheet that comes with lots of stickers that you can customize your tank. Also, it comes with an in-game bonus code. I would say that the in-game bonus code only works in the European Union and the Russian servers. So if you live in America, you play on the European Union server. And the bonus code only works for the actual World of Tanks and not World of Tanks Blitz. Want to see more Cobi review videos? Then remember to like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, please tell me why in the comment section. Also, there is construction going on outside, so if you got annoyed by some of those sounds, I'm sorry, I can't really do anything about that. So just a little disclaimer, you might be hearing construction noises for the next couple videos. If you want to see some more LEGO MOC reviews, then I could make some more LEGO MOCs and review those. Just tell me in the comments below. Also, kinetic sculptures. I like making those. I found out while making my World War II bunker kinetic sculpture. You should definitely check that out. That's my most recent kinetic sculpture. And just so you know, I might take a while when making kinetic sculptures because I have to think and I have to experiment with the mechanisms, and then I have to build the sculpture. And with that, bye!